The Māori population has been the victim of significant historical injustice. A dishonoured treaty, extensive dispossession, harsh assimilation and urbanisation. The consequences of this historical injustice plague our society. Disproportionate poverty and criminality, lower life expectancy. The inevitable consequences of the marginalisation and impoverishment that was forced upon Māori. These historical injustices and their consequences have been major political issues for a long time. Past governments have attempted to get rid of historical grievances with Iwi-centered solutions. Treaty settlements with significant financial compensation. Iwi-centered solutions are better than nothing. At least they partially address historical injustice and its consequences. But ultimately, Iwi-centered solutions are not good enough. They are an attempt at burying Māori issues without actually addressing them. They are a symbolic solution, oftentimes they are not substantive. The government can sit back and say historical injustice has been addressed. But the inequalities persist. Because Iwi-centered solutions are totally inadequate. The Māori who suffer the most have often been urbanised and assimilated. They have no connection to their iwi. They do not see a cent of the money given to the iwi. That is a very serious issue. The Māori who face poverty and destitution are often the descendants of urbanised and assimilated Māori. They have no connection to their iwi, so iwi-centered solutions will never address their struggles. You can give all the money in the world to iwi, but it will not fix their problems. Iwi-centered solutions are outdated. They assume that iwi represent all Māori, but for a very long time that has not been the case. Many Māori have no connection whatsoever to their iwi. Iwi-centered solutions will never rectify the inequalities that they face. Iwi-centered solutions are even more meaningless if an iwi is not highly democratic. This issue also has implications for co-governance. Some co-governance models advocate iwi control. Iwi control and Māori control are not the same thing. These things are conflated far too frequently. Iwi control is controlled by a specific Māori organisation. Not Māori broadly, as many Māori lack any connection to their iwi. Iwi are not a democratic representation of Māori broadly. They are Māori organisations based on heritage. There is nothing wrong with that, but there is a problem with failing to understand that and then designing policy that treats iwi like representatives of Māori broadly. Those who advocate these iwi-centered solutions also seem to assume that every Māori serves Māori interests broadly. Of course, this is not the case. Giving an iwi financial resources does not at all guarantee that they will use those resources to benefit all Māori, or even all members of their iwi. Māori do not mindlessly serve the collective interests of the Māori people. Māori society is not some unthinking monolith. Like any culture, Māori society is home to conflicting interests. There are self-serving Māori, just as there are self-serving Pākehā. There are also Māori who are only interested in serving their own iwi, with little if any regard for other Māori. So iwi-centered solutions have some issues. This is not to say they have no place. Iwi-centered solutions should play a limited role in addressing historical injustice. But their role should never be greater than what is warranted. And they should never be treated as perfect representatives of Māori interests broadly. The inequalities faced by Māori are complex, diverse solutions are required. Making it easier for people to escape poverty would be a good start. Disproportionate poverty is the root cause of most of the issues that Māori face. Lower life expectancy and disproportionate criminality are largely downstream of poverty. So making life easier for poor people is key. We must make it easier to escape poverty. Class-based policies are also more electorally viable because they can achieve broad support that exclusionary pro-Māori policy could never achieve. Simple policies are needed. Free doctors' appointments for all, free public transport for all, a living wage, a tax-free threshold. Simple policies that benefit everyone. Simple policies that make it easier for poor people to get by. Simple policies that make it easier to escape poverty. That should not be the be-all and end-all, but it is a good first step. Iwi-centered solutions are inadequate. A broad approach is required to address broad issues. This is not to demonize iwi. Iwi-centered solutions have a limited role to play, but they should never be treated as the be-all and end-all of the solution, or even the dominant part of it. If we choose that path, we will never address the many inequalities that plague the Māori population.